A few years ago, a couple visited an apartment, listed price $380,000. They loved it. They made a full price offer. The agent told them it was perfect. They signed. 3 weeks later, they found out from a neighbor that the apartment across the hall, same floor, same size, same building, had sold for $341,000. 6 months earlier, $39,000 difference. Same building, same street, different buyers, not richer, not luckier, just better informed. That couple didn't lose because they were bad negotiators. They lost because nobody had ever explained the real rules of the game to them. And today, I'm going to explain those rules. Because real estate negotiation is not what you've been taught. It's not about the price. It's not about leverage. And it's absolutely not about luck. It's a system. It has rules. And those rules are designed so that you never find out about them. Here's what people tell you when you're buying. Make an offer close to the asking price so you don't offend the seller. Show that you're serious and motivated. If you really love the property, don't play games with the price. Move fast, the market won't wait for you. I've heard this advice. You've heard it. Almost everyone follows it. Every single piece of it benefits the same person. And that person is not you. Here's what actually happens when you follow that advice. You show up motivated, visible, and rushed. You immediately signal that you want this property. You hand the agent and the seller exactly the information they need to figure out how far they can push you. The agent does not work for you. That's the first thing almost nobody truly understands. Legally, in the vast majority of transactions, the agent is hired by the seller. Their commission depends on the sale price. The higher the price, the more they earn. Their financial interest is structurally opposed to yours. This isn't malice, it's mechanics. But if you don't understand the mechanics, you're playing a game where you don't know the rules. Before we talk strategy, there's something you need to understand that almost no buyer ever knows. There are two types of sellers, and your approach needs to be completely different depending on which type you're dealing with. The first type, the motivated seller. This seller has a concrete reason to move fast. Going through a divorce, relocating for work, managing a complicated estate, struggling with a mortgage payment. Maybe they've already made an offer on another property and need the cash. This seller has a hidden agenda. They'll never tell you directly, but the signals are there. The property has been on the market for more than 60 days. There's already been a price reduction. There are plenty of viewings, but no deals closing. The seller responds to your messages unusually fast. This seller can accept 8 to 15% below the asking price. Not because they're desperate, because for them, the certainty of a fast sale is worth more than a few extra $1,000. The second type, the patient seller. This one isn't in a hurry, they're testing the market. They have a number in mind and they're willing to wait for it. They might own multiple properties, they're still living in the home and haven't bought anything else yet. With this seller, an aggressive offer doesn't lower the price, it removes you from the running entirely. The problem is the agent will never clearly tell you which category your seller falls into. Sometimes they don't know themselves. Sometimes they know and have every reason not to tell you. Your job, before you make a single offer, is to figure out which type you're dealing with. Here's something that good buyers do consistently, and that most people never dare to do. They ask direct questions, not about the property, about the seller and the situation. How long has this property been on the market? If the agent hesitates or rounds the number down, that's often a bad sign for them and a good sign for you. Have there been any offers? Legally, they can't lie to you. If there were offers that fell through, that tells you something about how firm the seller really is. Why is the seller selling? Both the answer you get and the way it's delivered are informative. Has the seller already found their next place? If yes, they may be more motivated than they're letting on. What's the ideal timeline for the seller to close? A short timeline often signals high motivation. These questions aren't aggressive, they're professional, and they give you information that 90% of buyers simply don't have when they make their offer. But here's the part nobody ever teaches. It's not just what you ask, it's when you ask it, and who you ask. If you ask these questions during the viewing, with the agent standing right there, you'll get filtered answers. The agent controls the narrative. The best information comes from neighbors, the building manager, archived listings online, and comparable sales in the same building. Public data, free. That almost nobody looks at before making an offer. Here's the most expensive mistake buyers make. They think negotiation is about the price. It's never only about the price. Price is one variable among many, and in some cases, it's not even the most important one. Here's what you can negotiate outside of price. Contingencies: you can negotiate the timeline for your mortgage approval. You can add a condition requiring certain repairs before closing. You can make the sale contingent on a home inspection, fixtures, and appliances. In a lot of transactions, especially furnished apartments or homes with a fitted kitchen, items can be included in the sale or their value deducted from the price. The closing date. For a motivated seller who needs cash fast, offering an accelerated closing can be worth several $1,000s off the price. Repairs at the seller's expense. Before you sign, a technical inspection can surface problems. Those problems translate directly into money. A motivated seller will often lower the price rather than deal with repairs themselves. Real negotiation is about assembling these variables together. A buyer who offers asking price, but with a short contingency period, solid financing, and a fast closing timeline can come out ahead of a buyer who negotiates hard on price but has a shaky file and vague timelines. Sellers don't always choose the highest offer. They choose the offer that gives them the most certainty. Certainty is worth more than price in a seller's mind. Most buyers make their offer by text or email to the agent, a number, a few words. That's the least effective way to negotiate. An effective offer isn't a number, it's an argument. First, show that you've done your homework. Reference the comparable sales you found, not to attack the seller, to show that your offer is grounded in market reality, not an attempt to take advantage of them. Then, sell your buyer profile. You have your mortgage pre-approval. You're available quickly. Your financing is solid. You don't have a property to sell before you can buy. These things reduce risk for the seller. Name them explicitly. Then frame your price as a justification, not a demand. Based on recent comparable sales in the area and the current condition of the property, I'm submitting an offer of X dollars. This price reflects a serious assessment and allows me to commit quickly with secure financing. That framing completely changes the dynamic. You're no longer a buyer haggling. You're a partner proposing a serious transaction. There's a silent rule in real estate negotiation that almost nobody knows. Sellers reject low offers, but they rarely respond with their final number. A counteroffer is an invitation to keep going. Silence or a flat refusal means you miscalibrated. If the seller counters, even slightly below their original price, you've won something important. You have proof there's flexibility. Here's the part you won't find in any standard home buying guide. Negotiation doesn't start when you make your offer. It starts at the first viewing. Every interaction with the agent is an information exchange, for you and for them. When you say, "We absolutely love this place," during a viewing, you just lost $5,000. Not because the agent is malicious, because they're going to pass that information to the seller. And the seller now knows they don't need to make any concessions to close the deal. The buyers who get the best terms are the ones who stay neutral for as long as possible. Interested, but not enthusiastic. Engaged, but never rushed. There's also something agents do consistently that most buyers never notice. They manufacture urgency. "We have another viewing tonight. There's a lot of interest on this property." The seller might pull it from the market if it doesn't move soon. These things can be true. They're often partially true. They're sometimes entirely made up. Your response to that pressure should always be the same. "I understand. I'll come back to you within 2 days with my position." 2 days, not a week, not an hour. 2 days. That window is short enough to signal you're serious, long enough to take back your decision-making power, and it immediately filters real urgency from manufactured urgency. Here's what all of this means in practice. Stop negotiating price first. Start by understanding the seller's situation. Every piece of information you can gather before making an offer changes the value of that offer. Never show your cards during viewings. Ask questions, take notes, stay neutral. Sellers and agents read buyer emotions. Don't give them that read for free. Build your offer like an argument, not a request. Market data, strong buyer profile, price justification. That structure turns your offer into a professional proposal instead of a haggle. Never respond to pressure in real time. 2 days, always 2 days. That window is your best tool. None of this is complicated. None of it requires being a real estate expert. It just requires knowing these rules exist. And now you do. The couple I told you about at the beginning, the ones who overpaid by $39,000, didn't make a stupid mistake. They played the game they were taught to play, the one where you show up enthusiastic, trust the agent, pay the asking price because the market is tight and you're scared of missing out. That game is real, and it's designed so that some buyers win and others pay full price. The difference between those two groups is rarely money, it's information. And the information, you have it now. If this video taught you something your real estate agent never told you, that's exactly why it exists. The next video is about something almost nobody says out loud. Why your bank offers you the loan that works best for them first, not the one that works best for you. Subscribe if you want the rules of the game, not the brochure.